So, no new One Piece Manga Chapter until January 20th. Yep, we're back in January again. Did you not notice? And nothing new Hot Ones related today. Although they did say on YouTube that they are returning next week with something very special for us. So, it was funny. They were showing a clip of the Paul Rudd episode and they thought, hey, maybe it's the guy from the new episode. Like, no, it's the Paul Rudd episode. Although, one thing is for sure, if Johnny Bravo taught us anything, the next Hot Ones guest will have 2 arms. I really hope somebody got that reference. So, you're probably thinking I'm rather bummed that no One Piece, no Hot Ones. Feeling pretty sad, right? Well, maybe a little bit. But I guess for one thing, it really does help to keep a positive attitude, which, how many times have I said doing these videos? I mean, really. But more importantly, that doesn't mean nothing happened at all. Not at all. In fact, something pretty big happened yesterday. But before we begin, happy Friday, everybody. Man, every time I say happy Friday, I immediately go back to high school choir. So, yes, today's Friday, and let's just say, if you're a Pokemon fan yesterday, you are living in some very, very good times. Because Nintendo Direct actually revealed a couple of new Pokemon-related stuff. So much stuff that I do not know where to begin. Well, I guess I could begin with the most recent event, and that was the stuff involving Pokemon Sword and Shield. Because believe it or not, we are getting expansion packs! Yay! That we can buy like DLC and stuff like that. And I gotta say, it looks pretty promising. Not gonna lie, and I really do love like the motif, the sort of theme they're going with, because it's Pokemon Sword and Shield, so keep anything expansion related, sort of medieval night term, medieval time sounding, stuff like that. So apparently we're going to be getting one expansion pack in June and one later in fall of this year. The first will be referred to as the Isle of Armor. See that theme that they're going with? And looks nice. Showing off a few new I say new, but Pokemon that weren't like previously in the game. One thing they're definitely trying to do, and I'll be getting into how interesting this is in a minute, is, I should probably explain. Ever since Generation 7, when they came out with the Alola region, there have been Alolan variants of Pokemon. Like, there's an Alolan version of Exeggutor, which somehow qualifies as a dragon type. I don't know. There's an Alolan Marowak, which may not be ground anymore, but it's ghost and fire. Although, like, the ends of its bones are, like, on fire. That's kind of cool. Kind of one of those tiki dances or whatever that you see in Hawaii, which the Alola region is basically, Polynesian region, so that makes sense. But, yeah, lots of different stuff like that. And Generation 8 has done something similar with the Galar region. Or if you have a new form, it's a Galarian form. Like, there's a Galarian version of Ponyta and Rapidash, which look absolutely adorable. Let's see. There's a Galarian Farfetch, which actually evolves and is no longer one of the worst Pokemon ever. That's really cool. But with the 2 expansion packs, one new Galarian form that they're introducing is, believe it or not, Slowpoke. Yeah, remember Slowpoke? The pink adorable Pokemon looked like... And it would keep that facial expression for, like, ever. Where, like, if a Shelter bit on its tail, it would evolve into Slowbro. And if it was holding a King's Rock and a shelter bit on top of its head, it evolves into Slow King. At least that's what the anime said. Although in the games, it's Slowpoke evolves into Slowbro level 37, and Slowpoke evolves into Slow King when being traded holding a King's Draw. Very simple. Although, the interesting thing about the expansion packs is the first one is the Isle of Armor, which I just mentioned. But the second expansion pack is the Crown Tundra. Yeah, again, they're sort of keeping the medieval crown theme, or medieval, theme going with, the term of crown. That's pretty neat. But here's where it gets interesting. Because that Galarian Slowpoke will evolve into Galarian Slowbro in the Isle of Armor, and it will evolve into Slow King in the Crown Tundra, crown, like on its head. So, that's actually a really neat touch. I really like that. Oh, if you think it's just evolving around Slowpoke, you are wrong. One thing they definitely introduced is, and this is I find interesting, the Galarian versions of the 3 legendary birds. If any of you guys recall way back when they had the original 150, you had those 3 legendary birds, Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, which, fun fact for you, the ends of those names are Spanish numbers. Remember, Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, and 1, 2, 3. So, that's really cool. But, yeah, they came with Galarian forms of that, and they look awesome. I'm like, really? You're doing that? Cool. Okay, so, yeah, there's lots of neat stuff to look forward to in those games, which now I have to wait until fall because I want to get it all in one bundle. So, yeah, that should be fun. I wonder how the competitive metagame is going to shape up. Because one of my hesitant reasons for getting Sword and Shield is, I like to be able to trade. And, having, trading by yourself because because if you had no friends like I did, it was as simple as, getting yourself an extra Game Boy and, trading that way. But now you gotta shell like $100+ for a Switch in order to trade that way. Is it really worth the effort? Well, I imagine it is. I shouldn't really say it isn't. But, yeah. So, I gotta start saving up money for a Switch. Maybe if I get bigger and richer fingers. Anyway, where was I? Yes. Another thing they talked about, and this is actually what sold me on, is I keep saying that it was Generation 4, that specifically Pokemon Platinum, that brought me back into playing Pokemon again. Well, for the main games, yes, it was. See, back around 2005, 2006, believe it or not, South Park, of all things, don't worry, it's going to make sense in a minute, came up with the Make Love, Not Warcraft episode. And no kidding, that was my first introduction to World of Warcraft. I saw like free range, able to walk, able to communicate with others, stuff like that. That looks really cool. I'm thinking, why doesn't Pokemon do something like that? That'd be neat, right? Well, sure enough, in 2006, they did. They came out with the closest variant we're probably ever going to get to that, and that is Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team and Blue Rescue Team. And really the only differences outside of there were some Pokemon you can find in one or the other was the fact that Red Rescue Team would be played on the Game Boy Advance, where the Blue Rescue Team took advantage of the Nintendo DS when it first came out. So you could use 2 screens. Pretty cool. So they actually remade it and are going to re-release it in March of this year for the Switch. Although it's just going to be Pokemon Rescue Team DX. I imagine DX represents Deluxe, which, makes sense. So it looks very tempting. I mean, at first I thought they were just going to remake what essentially was a Generation 3 game at the time. the Pokemon from Bulbasaur all the way to Deoxys. But nope, saw Lucario in there. They're definitely making a big one. I wonder if they'll do the Galar stuff too. Wow, it just gets so exciting, right? Yeah, I know, I'm a Pokemon nerd. Sue me. But, hey, it all looks really cool. And, again, Pokemon is essentially kaiju fights, but without the citywide damage, when you think about it. Although, another way I call it is like, cute little adorable creatures, or some of them are creepy looking, battling and fighting each other. Come on, that's awesome. It is. I mean, yeah, it's childish, and yeah, I am 30 years old, so by all accounts, I probably shouldn't be doing it anymore. But I don't care, I like it that much. It's awesome. Seriously, if you're a fan of Pokemon, no matter how old you are, don't let anyone say you're not cool. Because, it's clear that those people had nothing better to do outside of, ridiculing you, and that's not nice. So, yeah. So, yes, Pokemon Rescue Team DX, or Deluxe, I imagine is what it's going to be called. And, the expansion packs for Pokemon Sword and Shield, the Isle of Armor, and the Crown Tundra, which I do believe are awesome names, by the way, but then again, I do sort of dig the medieval style motif. And, yeah, everything's all looking pretty awesome. Can't wait to see what the future holds. Well, the future's going to be bright for Pokemon. I mean, let's be honest, as long as they keep coming up with new Pokemon to use and that are otherwise adorable, they're really all they have to do is keep coming up with ideas, and Game Freak is going to be making money off Pokemon, well, as Buzz Lightyear would say, to infinity and beyond. Although, Game Freak, seriously, get started on Mega Evolutions, please. Seriously, okay, this is a quick rant, but of all the Pokemon that did not get Mega Evolutions that should have, and any Pokemon fan will tell you this, the one that we all wanted to see was Flygon. And you're probably wondering, why didn't they give him a Mega Evolution? 2 words. Writer's block. Yes, the reason why Flygon doesn't have a Mega Evolution is really because, simply put, no one could come up with an idea as to what it would look like. Sad, isn't it? Oh well. C'est la vie. Maybe someday it will. Maybe someday it'll happen. I hope it does. Honestly, I hope a lot of Pokemon get Mega Evolutions, because there really ought to be something that Game Freak should go looking back into. I mean, the Alolan forms and the Galar forms are neat, and the whole Gigantamax thing, that looks cool, but come on, man. Mega Evolutions were the closest thing you had to Pokemon going Super Saiyan. What are you doing? I mean, you had a really good thing going. Why'd you stop? Oh, well. Stuff like that, happens. Maybe someday. Maybe if Game Freak goes back to that idea. Because not just Flygon, but a lot of Pokemon I'd like to see have Mega Evolutions. Like Kingdra, Milotic, Ursaring would be a good one, or Pangoro, or Beartic, or Dragonite, even though the Evolution Stone would be Dragonite-ite. Yeah, apparently the Mega Stone or Mega Evolution Stone that allows the Pokemon to evolve is essentially the name of the Pokemon and ITE or ite at the end of it. So, yeah, Dragonite-ite. It would sound weird and silly to say, but hey, don't establish rules and not follow them, Game Freak. I'm just saying. That's how society crumbles. We do not want that. So, yeah. If you're a Pokemon fan, needless to say, yesterday was a pretty big day for you. Definitely a fun time for me. Can't wait to see what Game Freak does in the future. Can't wait to see how the Pokemon competitive metagame plays out. Really excited, cannot wait. And yeah, definitely took my mind off the fact there was no Hot Ones or One Piece chapter. Oh well, what can I say? I guess I'm so easily amused. Like, favorite, share, hit that subscribe button, follow me on social media platforms, turn on notifications on YouTube. I am very humbled I made this video for all of you guys who are watching. Enjoy today. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Friday. And remember, if you guys want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend you. Don't always have your back. Take care and make good choices. And one more thing, by the way, today's Friday before Lent. If you practice the Catholic faith or Christian faith, you know, this is one of the last times you're going to have meat on Friday until Lent starts on February 26th. So that only gives you not even a full 2 months. So, and when Lent starts, you're not going to be able to meet on Fridays again until after Easter, which is after April 9th or April 11th. So, yeah. I always like to give that word of caution. See ya.